How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to Salvage Auto Rebuilds. And yes, today, as you can see, we have got ourselves a donor vehicle. So guys, I picked this thing up from the insurance auto sales down by the gas station. So guys, this car is pretty badly mangled, as you can see. It doesn't look like much, but fortunately for us, this thing has got a decent looking engine and also the gearbox, and yeah, that's pretty much everything that we're going to be using off of this thing in order to get our pickup truck on the lift over here up and running. So yes, we are going to be diesel swapping this thing and getting this thing running and hopefully driving it relatively soon. So we've still got a bunch of parts missing, so I haven't done any purchases yet of parts that we might need for this thing, with the exception of a new fuel tank, because obviously this is going to be running on diesel now. So I already bought a little bit of diesel and we put it into the gas tank over here. So we're going to be installing this once we get to putting this thing together. I also mounted the grill that came off of Uncle Bill's truck onto this one. It's still a little bit mangled, so we might actually replace it. I just put it there for the time being, and I've also kept all of the old parts that came off of Uncle Bill's truck. So we're going to see what's going to be necessary for us. So we've got a fender for this thing that came off of Uncle Bill's truck as well, but we still need to get the inner fender and such to mount it to. But over on Uncle Bill's truck, we've got a couple of new things. As you can see, we've got some new body panels like the fender, and also we've got the outer skin for our bed, which we need to weld into place today. So hopefully that is going to be something we get to as well, and sort that out. In other news, Uncle Bill also decided he wants to lift the truck, so he's got some new lifted leaf springs, and we've also got some brand new off-road tires going onto this truck. So yeah, that's going to be pretty nifty once we get to installing that. So we've got the old wheels and tires in the garage over here. So these ones we are going to probably use on our truck, the orange pink truck over here. So I guess we'll see how that works out. But first, I think let's get started on a little bit of assembly. So yeah, we've got a little bit of work to do here. Let's pop the hood. So the first thing I want to do is remove the battery. So we want to see if we can get the panels welded into place. Okay, so let's start with... is it going to be able to reach? Yeah, there we go. All right, and we'll unbolt the battery. Okay, so this can come out just for now. We'll, I think we'll just put it over here. Okay, and I might as well put it on charge a bit. Yeah, it might be better if we can just get it charged a little bit, because it's been sitting quite a couple of days now. Alright, so next up, I've already got all the tools and stuff ready, so it's just a matter of lining this thing up and getting it onto here. Alright, and start welding this thing back. Okay, so there's a weld over here we need to do. One over there, and then I'm going to try and hop up here and see if we can get to this one. Okay, that is already the first piece of the puzzle put together. Okay, great stuff. Alright, next up we're going to be probably installing this fender, just to see if everything is lined up and if everything is going to look pretty good. So we are going to be disassembling the truck again for its paint job, and I also want to see if I can get it cleaned up a bit as well, because it's still a little bit filthy. Alright, and then I think what we need to do probably is get this grill put together first of all. So we've got some new headlights, some new blinkers, some lamp trims. So I think let's do these light bulbs in our headlights. Okay, get that into there, get that onto there. We're gonna need our screwdriver. Let's just turn the toolbox around real quick. Okay, and let's just screw down this headlight. Okay, and this trim should just pop onto there. Yeah, it looks like it snaps in, so that looks decent. Alright, let's do the same on this side. Just get our headlight bulb into there. Looking pretty good. Alright, and we can get this mounted, and next up we're gonna get our blinkers sorted. Where did I put the Okay, there it is. One for there, one for there, and yeah, just like that, we've got an empty box of light bulbs. Okay, so this one's going to go into there. This one can go into there. Alright, let's put this onto here. Alright, so this is actually the bumper that came off of our truck over there. So I'm gonna see if I can straighten out the bumper that came off of Uncle Bill's truck for our truck over there. So we'll see how that's gonna work. Because it's a little bit mangled, but we're gonna see what parts we can use on it. Okay, so now we can grab the grill. Let's just see how this mounts. And we're giving this thing a little bit of a facelift. So the front grill that we had on here is a little bit different to that one. It doesn't have the lamp trims on it. But okay, it's a little bit of a facelift, so there we go. Now let's just see how the bumper looks. Once we get that into position. I think it looks nice and straight, but we do have got quite a couple of dents on this whole truck. So we're going to be addressing that in a minute. Okay, so let's see. Alright, that's looking pretty decent. It doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look terrible. Okay, we can probably get that mounted as well. We've got our fuel door and our taillight. Okay, so the taillight, we might actually end up replacing some of the taillights still. Well, both the taillights on this truck. Maybe slap these onto our truck over there. But yeah, this one isn't terrible. It still looks decent, but once we get to buttoning this thing up, we'll probably go ahead and replace those. Alright, so let's get some wheels onto this thing. I think these wheels probably lost its pressure already again, because yeah, these tires are completely bolt, but these are just going to be temporarily mounted until we can decide what we need to do with this thing. I still need to swap out the leaf springs as well. So we'll get that, yeah, maybe taken off of this truck, and we'll put it onto our truck, the pink one next to this one. We'll see how that's going to look. Alright, so there we go. Alright, perfect. So that is decent. We've got some wheels onto this thing. Alright, so now I think let's bring our springs a little bit closer here. Okay, so this is a front leaf spring. There's the other front one. Okay, let's bring this closer. Yeah, these are actually chromed up very nicely. They look the part. I think once this truck is done, it's gonna definitely stand out a little bit better. Look a little bit more neater. Okay, so there we go. This is our last leaf spring going on this corner. Alright, so let's see how this is gonna go. We're gonna try and replace it. All four of these. Okay, so there's a bolt over there. We've got 4 nuts on the U-bolt over here, which we're gonna try and get to. Okay, and there should be a bolt back there, and that is our lowered leaf spring that's going to go onto our truck on this side eventually. Alright, let's put that onto here. Just zip it down. Alright, and the 4 U-bolt nuts over here, just bolt those down. Alright, so I did replace the brake hose because I actually found it when I did a little bit of cleanup off camera after the last episode. So yeah, that has been replaced with the new one. So yeah, let's just continue with this. Get this leaf spring on here. Okay. Sometimes a little bit tricky to getting all of these bolts, but there we go. That's the old one out. And let's put the new one in, the lifted one. Okay, and got the 4 nuts over there. And there we go. That is our rear end lifted. So this is going to go over to our truck over here. Yeah, we've got a lot of work to do still on this thing. Okay, so let's move over to the front of this truck. So we're going to take off these front leaf springs. And it's pretty much a repeat of what we just did at the back. Just a matter of finding all these nuts we need to take off. Okay, so there's the front one. Let's put this one on, bolt it down. Right, those 4, and this one will go over to our truck over here. Okay, so let's get this one off, last but not least. Okay, and just get to these nuts over here. There we go. Alright, and the last one should be... Oh, wait a second, that one was loose already. Okay, interesting. Alright, looks like the previous owner forgot a bolt. Okay. Well, you know, not to worry. As long as we make sure everything is bolted down nice and snug, I think we shouldn't have any problems. Which actually wants me to go through all of the bolts on this truck and see if there's any more missing or loosened up bolts, you know. Okay, but there we go. We've got our other lowered spring for this truck. I think it's going to look pretty nifty with, yeah, the things we're going to do to it eventually. Alright, so now, unfortunately, our jack stand is a little too short. Well, our floor jack is a little too short, but I did put it under here for a little bit of support, but it looks like it's not really necessary. So you're going to just have to yank these out from under the truck. Okay, so let's go around this side. We're going to do the same. Just yank them out. Because now the truck is lifted. There we go. This one was a little bit stuck, but we got it out. Alright, so there we go. The truck is now lifted. It looks absolutely terrible with these tiny wheels on it. But yeah, as I said, it's just temporarily until we got this thing painted up eventually. So guys, this truck still needs a whole lot of Bondo work. So as you can see in the back of our Niva over here, I've got plenty of tubs of Bondo. So we're just going to go through this thing, make sure we get all of these dents sorted out on this truck. Starting with the hood, where we already did a little bit of Bondo work on. But yeah, hopefully we can get this figured out and just smooth it out a little bit over here. Right, so moving on to the fender. Okay, then this door's gonna need a little bit of work. So yeah, this poor truck has definitely been through quite a lot. Alright, you know what? Before we continue with this, let's just grab our garden hose over here. I think we need to rinse this truck off a little bit. At least all of the dusty bits on it. I don't have to get it perfect, but just so that it looks a little bit better. Alright, well, it's not terrible. There we go. You can clearly see this truck hasn't been washed in a while. There we go. Alright, come around the back here. Let's just rinse off this tailgate. There's probably a whole lot of dirt inside the bed as well we need to address eventually. Yeah, that's not really our focus for today. We'll probably get this thing cleaned up properly before we take it over to paint. Alright, so yeah, while I'm talking about taking it over to paint, so Uncle Bill wants a special paint job on this thing. So he booked it in for a paint job over at the service center. So they're going to be doing like a two-tone paint job on this thing for him. And that way we don't really have to bother with that. We just need to make sure the body is nice and straight and all of the dents are taken care of. And yeah, and they will do the rest. So yeah, it's going to save us a little bit of time working on this project. Alright, but let's get this tailgate closed up. Okay, and then we can continue with our Bondo work. Let's see what else we can figure out here. Alright, in terms of interior, I haven't really spoken about the interior to Uncle Bill yet, so we'll see what he says eventually, what he would like to have done to the interior. But okay, that's our first tub of Bondo finished. So yeah, we're gonna have a bunch of empty tubs by the end of today, by the looks of it. Okay, so any more dents on this? Yeah, we've got a couple more imperfections to figure out. We'll have to see if we can reach everything. Yeah, there's probably damage on the other side of this panel as well. Alright, the roof seems to be okay. It's just the firewall. We might have to go around the other side for that, but yeah, let's just go around this way, back at the tailgate. Yeah, it's not terrible. It still needs a little bit of work. Let's also check on the inside of the bed. Can we... Oh, there's a... I think I loosened the handbrake. Do you know what? It's fine. Yep, this thing has definitely been abused a little bit. Well, looks like I'm going to have to maybe keep a couple of these in my backpack so that I can actually work a little bit more efficiently. Alright, let's grab a few of these. I think that should do it for now. Okay, let's get back into the truck bed. Okay, that is not good. We are pushing it against our little Neva. You know, let me just push the truck back a little bit. There we go. Right, and put the handbrake back up. Alright, let's try this again. Let's get back into the bed and see if we can take care of some more of the dents back here. Yeah, even the cab wall is a little bit... Not really the cab wall, that's more like the bed wall. I wonder if it would have gone easier if we took the whole bed off the truck, because it's actually just a couple of bolts and then this whole bed will come off. Because we've got pretty much dents everywhere on this thing. But I think if I just keep at it, we should eventually get it all sorted. Alright, tailgate looks fine. Alright, another tub of Bondo empty. Let's grab another one from the backpack here. And just keep at it. Alright, so... Yeah, this is actually terrible. Didn't expect this thing to have as much damage because it didn't look as bad. But yeah, once you start getting into it, you actually find more and more problems. Guess that's just how it goes, you know. Alright, so it looks like there's a couple more imperfections in this corner. We just gotta figure out exactly where it is. Yep, it's gonna take us a hot minute to sort this out, guys. I'm just wondering if I shouldn't just take the whole thing off the truck. I think that might actually be a little bit easier, but let's see what else we can figure out here on this outer skin. Maybe if we can get this sorted, we'll get a better idea of what's going on. Okay, another tub of Bondo. Let's keep at it. Just gotta make sure we get all of these dents out of this thing. Yeah, it's actually very ironic. So apparently this thing is called the dent side, so it's got a lot of dents on its side. And apparently on the inside too. Okay. Alright, well. Yeah, this cab corner even has got a couple of dents. Let's just open the door so we can figure out what's going on with it. Okay, I think that is sorted now. That looks a little bit better. Okay, that is pretty much the damage we had on that. In this rocket panel, we've got a little bit of dents. Alright, lots of dents on the dent side, you know. We missed a bit of dirt on here. It's another tub of Bondo empty. Alright, let's see if we tackle this door a little bit better. From the outside, maybe. Alright, I think that's sorted. Let's just check it again. Yeah, I think that looks pretty decent. Alright, so as for this truck bed, I think we're gonna just rip the damn thing off. It's gonna make it a little bit easier for us to work on it, but the problem is we don't have a lot of space. Maybe I need to make a little bit of space over here. Let's just move this out of the way. Okay, we can take the bed off and we can actually put it down over here. Okay, let's see. We're gonna need a wrench. Right, let's start on this side. Get this thing loosened up over there. There's another bolt over there. That should be one. Last one on this side. One over there, and then this should be the last one. If I can just reach it. There we go. Alright, so there's the bed. Okay, now with the bed off, we can just move it over there. Okay, I must just remember where I put the wrench. Now we can also check this cab wall for some damage over here. Alright, let's check this side. Yeah, let's just see if we can sort out that gap over there. Alright, I think that is looking pretty good. So the cab seems to be completely sorted now. Hood looks good. Our new fender looks brilliant. Alrighty, so now we're going to just see if we can figure this out. So it looks like our cab is perfect. So now it's just going to be a matter of sorting this truck bed out. And once we've got this thing straightened out, I'm going to start disassembling everything again off of it. Still wanted to check this. Yeah, this actually looks like it lines up perfectly there. So we can actually get the taillight removed again. Alright, let's see if we can figure out where the rest of these dents are. I wonder if it's going to be easier if I actually cut this thing apart. And that way we can sort out one panel at a time. I don't know, but let's see how it goes first of all. Okay, that is another tub of Bondo empty. Alright, looks like I might have to go and grab some more from the truck. Okay, hop back into here. Alright, this thing is definitely demanding a whole lot of work. Holy crap, yeah. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this whole thing apart. It's going to work out a little bit easier, I think. So let's get our angle grinder. We're not going to struggle with this thing any further. I'm just going to chop it into pieces. And that way we're going to be able to see what's wrong with the panels individually. Okay, let's bring this cutting disc box over here. Okay, now where did I throw the angle grinder? It's still way over here. There we go. Right, let's see what's happening with this thing. Okay, so let's start by first of all cutting off the outer skin once again on this side. Okay, come on, hop into the damn thing. There we go. Okay, so now we can inspect the outer skin. Let's just see what is going on with this. If we've got any more dents on that. But I think this is perfect. Yeah, I think we sorted this thing out, so this looks pretty good. Alright, next up is probably going to be our new panel. I'm going to take it off, although we don't really have any damage on it. But I think it's necessary to come off so that we can get the inner skin taken off this thing. Okay, so let's chop that up there. Okay, so this can come off. Okay, so this is our new skin we just put on today. And let's just see. Yep, obviously no dents on that. Maybe the fuel door. Nah, that looks perfect. Alright, let's just see what else we can figure out with this thing. So I'm going to probably have to take off the tailgate. So let's get our wrench. Okay, so there should be a bolt over there. And one on this side. Okay, so the tailgate should be good. I think we sorted that out already. And now it's going to be a little bit easier for us to work on this at least. But I think let's just continue cutting this apart. I think it's just going to be a little bit easier doing it that way. And there's the angle grinder. Okay. Okay, we should be able to do it from this side. Let's grab another disc. Alright, come on. Get on there. There we go. Okay, this is the inner skin. Okay, let's see. That is empty. Let's see how far we can get with removing the dents off of this thing now. I think it'll be a little bit easier. And just like that, that is so much faster, because now we had easier access to where the dent was. Okay. Yeah, looks like this is going to work out in the end. Okay, cut that over there. Cut over there and over there and this one. Okay, let's see if we put this down over here. Okay, let's just move this out of the way. Okay, where's my Bondo? Here it is. Alright, check what's going on with this thing. Where the damage is. It's probably still around here somewhere. Just gotta figure out where. Alright, are you kidding me? Was that it? Yep, looks like it. You know what? It's okay. It's sorted now. Right, and the last panel we're going to cut off is going to be this this front wall. Okay, let's quickly have a look at this thing. Alright, now we're going to need our Bondo again. Okay, it's just going to be a matter of sorting this out real quick. Just got to figure out where the heck the dents are. It's probably it. Alright, and then last but not least, just going to be this floor pan. Or the bed floor as they call it. Let's just see if we can figure out where the dents are on this thing. Yeah, it looks like it was mostly in this corner over here. And I think we sorted that out. And the tailgate, yeah, tailgate is perfect. Alright, let's see if I can put this thing back together again. So that goes onto there. And we're going to need our welding machine, which I think I put it inside the shed, right? Yeah, I did. Okay, there it is. Okay, so let's see if we can put this thing back together again. Okay, so we'll weld that and that. Okay, and then we'll put our right panel on, which goes on this side over here. Okay. Alright, and we're gonna need some more electrodes. Where did I put my electrodes? I see, oh, they are there under the jack stand. Okay, we'll go and fetch that in a minute once we need it. Alright, and that is finished. Okay, let's go get it. Alright, let's just take that off of there. This one has got only one electrode in it. Okay, well, let's do this. Where the heck did it go? Oh, there it is. Yeah, this thing is so tiny. Okay, well, we might probably use a couple of these on this bed now. Okay, we've got a well to do there still. And over there, and then this one. Okay, so that looks like it's all of them. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, bring the welding machine closer. Alright, I still want to get that MIG welder from Little Lewis, but I think once we decide what we're going to do with our vehicles situation, because I'm thinking of maybe keeping that truck for myself once we get it fixed up, and maybe fixing the Niva up so that we can get that Niva sold. I don't know, we'll have to see. I still need to decide exactly what I want to do. Okay, let's put this thing together again. Okay, and weld it there, and we're gonna need another electrode. Okay, let's bring the next box over, because this one, that's the empty one. Let's grab this box. Okay, just drop on there. Alright, so yeah, what I was getting at is yeah, once we start making some decent money when we sell one of our vehicles, we should be able to invest in a little bit of tools. And actually, when I went to buy the Mercedes there, the guy Nathan, me and him had a little bit of a word, and he's looking at closing the business down soon. So his property might go up for sale. I guess we'll figure it out when the time is right, if that is going to be the place for us. Because I think we will have a little bit more space over there than what we currently have in Uncle Bill's yard over here. But we'll see. It'll all depend on our current, well, money situation, and also when exactly he's going to be looking at selling the place. Okay, there we go. So now I just need to bolt this back down. Alright. There we go. Truck bed is fully assembled, and I think we are ready to put this thing back onto our truck. Alright, let's just grab it and just like that, pop it back on. Okay, so let's zip down all of these bolts. Alright, and we've got 3 on this side. Okay, and another one over there. And there should be a last one up front. And just like that. That is looking pretty good. Alrighty guys, so now what I need to do is quickly get the accessories removed off of this thing again. So I'm just going to do the whole grill. So the grill is assembled. So I just wanted to make sure everything lines up perfectly before I took everything off the truck. But I think we are golden. So this grill is going to come off. We're just going to put it in the shed over here. Okay, and then we've got a bunch of trim as well we need to take off. But the front bumper and rear bumper is going to come off again. Gonna get this thing pretty much bare bones so that it can be shipped over to the service center for its paint job. Okay, so that's all of that. We're gonna need a screwdriver for that. Let's do everything we can with the wrench. Okay, so back bumper can come off. Okay, there's the back bumper. Alright. I'll probably just put it on top of the other one for now. Alright, now we're going to need our screwdriver. Let's put that back into there and take off these door mirrors first of all. Alright, so there's the one. This is also a pretty good time to inspect it and see what the condition of these. I think, yeah, door mirrors we might actually have to replace, but I'm going to hang on to these in case we need it for our other truck over there. Alright, come on, let's just unscrew it. There we go. Okay, how's this one doing? Yeah, that's even worse. Alright. Okay, so that is all of that removed. Let's not forget the window wipers. We need to undo that. Okay, and what else can we take off with the screwdriver? Probably our taillights. Okay, so yeah, this one isn't terrible, but I think new taillights for Uncle Bull's truck is definitely on the table. Alright, there we go. This is a left-hand side one, which is also a little bit worn. We'll see. Maybe those are going to be good enough for our truck. Because I don't think we need to fix this thing up perfectly. It just needs to be reliable. Alright, so there we go. And next up I'm going to grab the wrench real quick. Just want to see if I can get these wipers off of here. Okay, we're going to need wiper blades. Definitely. Wiper arm isn't too bad, but we'll see. Alright, and this one is missing a wiper blade. But the arm itself, it's not half bad. Yeah, those wiper arms are still usable. Alrighty. And now we're going to need to pry off a couple of things from the body. Like these trim pieces and the windscreen and all of that can probably come out. I don't really necessarily want to strip the interior out of this thing just yet. We might take the door cards off, you know. Yeah, let's maybe do this while we've got the wrench in our hand. Okay, so still got to figure out with Uncle Bill what we're going to do with the interior. Because we kind of got a mix match of blue and red interior in this truck. Alright, so there's our other door card off. Seat's going to have to stay. Dashboard's going to have to stay because the ignition is on that. The gear stick needs to stay. So everything else needs to stay on the interior for now. We could probably take off the headliner. Okay, let's maybe do that. Grab our screwdriver. Hop into here. Just get these screws taken out. There we go. There's the headliner. Alright, so the headliner, it doesn't look terrible, but it's definitely a little bit worn. Okay, and where did that rear view mirror go? Oh, there it is. Okay. Alright, we'll just get this out of there as well. I didn't have a look at it. Let's just see what the... Yeah, that is actually toast. Alright, well, we'll probably get a new one of those as well for the truck. Window lifters, yeah, the windows need to come out anyway, so we're gonna quickly grab the wrench again. Alright, I'm all over the place today, but okay, you know what? Now we can take this off. Okay, we can also inspect it, and we are missing the glass on this door. Okay, the lifter still seems to be working, although it's not in the greatest shape. Alright, let's just chuck that over there. Alright, looks like both the door glasses are missing. Oh, this one is in. Okay. Is this still... It still works, but it's not great. Alright, so we need to source another window for the driver's side. Is there a small glass in here? I know this bolt is a little bit tricky to get to. There we go, let's see. Alright, so this glass is in here. Okay, let's just put that down over there for now. Hopefully it'll be fine. Alright, you know what? Let's just put it on the grill there for now. Okay, let's take out the other door mirror. The small, well, not mirror, glass. Alright, there's the other one. Alright, we'll just put it on the grill as well for now. Okay, so next up, it's just going to be a bunch of trim we need to take off. Alright, for that we're going to need our pry tool. Okay, so this is coming off. We'll also have a look at each thing we take off and just get an idea of what the condition are of these, and yeah, decide whether we need to buy new ones or if we can reuse some of this. But so far all of this looks a little bit bad, so might end up replacing all of the trim eventually on this truck. This one is yeah, it's not bad, but it's not really up to standard. Alright, this one is decent. Alright, this cab quarter trim, yeah, it's also a little bit worn. I've got this trim piece on the side there. Not the greatest. I would say that needs to be replaced rather. Okay, let's pop out this rear glass. Alright, so let's quickly pop out the front windscreen as well, and just put it over here by the rear glass. I think, yeah, we'll be able to reuse this again. It doesn't look terrible. Okay, so next up, let's see what else we've got. We've got a piece of trim on this cab corner over there. There's also a piece of trim at the back on the tailgate. Yeah, that is completely toast. Okay, let's take this off. That one isn't terrible. And then let's just see, we've got a bunch of wheel arch trims on here still. That one is already taken off. Okay, so this one looks, nah, not too bad, but it could have been better. And this one is also not the greatest, and that one is removed or missing already. Okay, so it's just this last piece of trim on the cab over here. Alright, so that is everything removed for this thing to be painted. So yeah, as I said, the service center is going to be taking care of the paint job on this truck. So everything should be still good for this truck to move under its own power. So we should be able to get this thing up onto our trailer and yeah, transport it over. But I think I'm probably going to do that off camera, because it's going to take a hot minute to get this truck lined up with our trailer and to haul it back with the little Neva over there. So I'll probably do that off camera and just go and drop this thing off. But for now, I've got a little bit more work to carry on with, guys. So I want to see how far we can get to putting the donor engine into this truck of ours. So let's get ourselves prepped for this. Okay, so yeah, I'm not too sure if this cross member over here is still in decent condition. So I'm just going to take it off real quick just to inspect it. It's not terrible. I think it'll still hold the engine. So we can go ahead and get that back into place. Okay. Zip that up. Okay. And then, yeah, this is going to be a little bit of a chore getting this engine out of here from this mangled wreck. Okay, but first of all, just taking the old exhaust off, because that isn't going to work on our truck. I'm going to have to order a different exhaust for the truck. I'll get the alternator cable off there, and yeah, just be careful of this over here because this is a little bit dangerous. Alright, now I need to figure out where the fuel line bolt is. It's on there. Somewhere over here. Let's just see. There it is. Okay, so that is the fuel line. I think it's the fuel line. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so the fuel line isn't terrible. Alright, let's get this undone over there. Oh, the starter on this engine looks a little bit bad. Alright, so there should be some more bolts underneath the car over this side. Just going to have to get a little bit creative in getting to all these bolts. And I think our earth cable is still there. There's a bolt right under there. I think I've got it. Let's just see. Oh, that's a little bit low. You know what? Let's just get ourselves a floor jack. Alright, where did I put the floor jack I had? It was somewhere around here. Okay. Okay, let's bring this over here. I'm just going to jack it up a little bit on this side. Alright, and we can actually see a little bit better what's happening over here. I think there are still some decent parts on this car if ever we need some of it. So I don't know if we're going to be hanging on to it or if I'm going to get rid of everything. I don't know exactly. But now let's see what else we need to do to get this engine out of here. Okay, the alternator bolt is loose. That is loose. That bolt is loose. Yeah, I think we are missing a transmission bolt somewhere. What else do we need to take off this thing? Probably that. There we go. Alright, I think engine is free now. It's just going to be a matter of lifting this thing out of here. There we go. Alright. Alright, easy access from this side. There we go. Alright, zip it down. And we've got our diesel engine in just like that, which is pretty easy if you ask me. Alright, so we are going to need to transfer the cables and everything over. I'm not entirely sure if it's going to work without our inner fender installed on the truck over there. So we're going to have to probably get that first. Okay, let's just put this battery in the bed over there of the truck. Alright, let's see. These cables, I don't think they are going to... No, wait a second. We can get it in. Okay. Alright, well, that is good to know. Then at least we can get this sorted out. Yeah, I'm doubtful we're going to be able to fire this thing up today. Because it looks like we might have to figure out how we're going to install the battery. And that's only going to be possible with the inner fender installed. Let's just see if we can get it sort of... Nope. Yep, it's not going to stay there. Okay, you know what? Let's rather be safe than sorry. And just put the battery down over there for now. So it looks like we're not going to be firing this thing up yet today. But I still got a little bit of work to carry on with. We can still try and get this gearbox out of here. That door is completely mangled. Okay, are we going to be able to get to these bolts under here? There we go. Transmission is free. Alright, so now this can go into our truck over there. Okay, yeah. Such a nice fit. There we go. Alright, over there. Alright, I wonder... Yeah, we should be able to manage this. Okay. Now, let's just get out from under here again. Alright, perfect. And let's lift it up a little bit more. I just wanted to check something real quick. If I can get to all of those gearbox bolts from underneath. Okay, let's see what's cooking over here. Okay, so we've got all of these tightened down. Okay, so there are a few bolts over here. We've got most of those already. Alright, so there's some more up there. Alright, I might have to do some of these from the top. Okay, so let's bring this thing back down again. Alright, are you going? Yeah, it's going slowly but surely. Yeah, this is the only problem with our lift. It's super slow. But there we go. Alright, so that is pretty much down on the ground. Okay, so what else do we need to still bolt down? We've got this bolt over here, and we've got one over there. Okay, so the alternator, we did that already. Okay, let's go with this side, the starter. Okay, so that is bolted down, that is bolted down. We've got that done, and this one. Okay, fuel line. Yeah, this fuel line isn't terrible. We can probably reuse this. Okay, let's just zip that back down right over there. Okay, next up I think let's get the gas tank in. Might actually be a little bit better if I could get the truck lifted again. Alright, let's go up a little bit. Nice and high. Okay. That looks good. Okay, so first of all we need to get the oil tank out of here. Which is nice and easy. It's just 2 bolts. Okay, and there's the old one. Nice and rusty. And we're getting the brand new one installed right over there. Okay, we'll bolt that down. Okay, so that is a diesel tank installed. And it's already been filled up with diesel. Alright, so next up what I'm going to do is we're going to see if we can get our rear suspension off of this thing. There's no drive shaft here. The axle itself looks like it's kind of decent. Might be wrong, I don't know. Okay, let's get this removed from here. Okay, and that's our rear axle. Alright, which we are going to be stripping apart now. See what parts we still need from this. The axle itself is a little bit worn, but it's not as bad as the front one. I think we can take off this leaf spring over here. Oh, I just noticed we've got a bad frame rail over here. Holy crap. Yeah, that's not going to be safe. Alright, so we're going to have to replace a frame rail on this truck, guys. Oh my goodness, looks like we're going to have to replace both the frame rails and a couple of these support beams. Oh, I just noticed this thing is actually rotted completely under here. Yeah, that looks a little bit bad. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, you know what? I might as well just do it. Bite the bullet and get some new frame rails for this truck, guys. It's gonna be much better that way. Alright, well, you know what? Let's just put these leaf springs into place so that we at least know they are kind of not gonna go missing. But they are gonna come off again, obviously, because yeah, this is gonna turn into a whole another restoration here. Okay, well, you know what? It is what it is. Might as well do it once and do it right. And not take any shortcuts here. Alright, well. See if we can get our axle out of here. Okay, we've got some bolts on this side. Okay, and there. And there's our axle. Okay, so that is the front axle. Alright, well, we still got a little bit of tear up work to do on that axle then. Let's just get our busted leaf spring off of here. And I see this drive shaft is also quite bad. Okay, so that needs to be replaced. Yep, absolutely. Alright, let's see this leaf spring. That one is missing on that side. Okay, but yeah, this one is going to be replaced with our lowered leaf spring, which I kicked all the way over here. Alright, let's just get this into position more or less so that we can figure it out from there. Okay, and this one can go onto here for now. It's kind of a waste. But okay, you know what? At least then we know where it's going to stay. I'm going to have to get this inner fender for this truck as well. So it looks like I'm going to be doing a whole lot of work. And this door seems to be banged up quite badly. And yeah, as I said, we've got the the bumper and the fender from Uncle Bull's truck over there, which I'm going to try and salvage for this truck. But okay, guys, I think what I'm going to do before we end this episode is just see if I can take the suspension apart over here. It's not going to take me very long probably, but you know what? Let's just get it done and over with. Alright, so fortunately we do have got the old wheels that came off of Uncle Bull's truck, so these ones are probably not going to be reused. I think I might keep this one as a spare tire. And I actually like the look of the chrome on this thing. Although I am going to be deleting these center cap things that they've got on here. I already took the other ones off the other wheels, so we'll see. Maybe we'll just get these chromed as well and then run them without center caps, I guess. Alrighty, but let's commence with the teardown of the front suspension over here. Let's just see what we've got, what we need to get for this truck. Okay, yeah, it's not terrible. Could have been better. Okay, that caliper bolt was loose, and yeah, that caliper is toast. Let's see. Let's grab our screwdriver, and it's starting to get a bit dark. Alright, let's see. We stripped this apart. Yeah, it's not terrible. But yeah, I don't like taking shortcuts with brakes, you know. Alright, but we'll figure out what we need to replace on this eventually. There's the hub. The hub doesn't look too bad on this side. Okay, let's check this hub. Yeah, once again, the two hubs look decent, which is actually strange. Now we can get this removed, which is our steering knuckle, I think, or the hub carrier as they call it. Which isn't in terrible shape, but it's it'll be better to just rather replace these things, especially stuff like this, which you don't have access to easily. So half axle is definitely not toast, but it's not great either. Are we missing a half shaft on this side? It looks like it. Okay, that is interesting. Okay, well, we've got the hub carrier for that side. And this is our axle itself, which, as you can see, has seen some better days. So, yeah, this needs to be replaced. No doubt about that. Alright, let's tackle the rear suspension real quick. Alright, well, looks like we've got a good-looking tire on this corner. Let's see what it is. It's not too bad, but I would probably just keep these around for something. Because now we have got almost a matching set. This one looks a little bit different. Yeah, this is a different style. Okay. Alright, there we go. Yeah, so this one, I thought I had a full set of wheels then. And this is actually different to that one and that one. And we've got a third one in the garage over there, which is, yeah, the same as the other three. Alright, so yeah, looks like we don't have a matching set then. Okay. You know what? Doesn't matter. Alright, let's see what else we've got on this rear axle that is still maybe salvageable. Well, brake lines, I like to replace those. This one is also quite shot. You can just see it by looking at it. Once again, we've got no brake drum on this side. We are missing a brake shoe as well. Okay, let's take this brake drum off. That's not terrible. So I kept the old parts just in case. So we've got two brake drums, and these aren't terrible. We've got a decent-ish brake disc over there, which is, I think these are actually pretty much the same. Alright, well, we'll decide. Yeah, we'll decide what we want to do and how far we want to go with fixing this thing up, but I think if some of these brake shoes are decent, because we've still got some brake shoes that came off of the other truck. That one is a bit toast, but this one is not too bad over here. So we've got a set of brake shoes over there. That one is a little too far gone, but this one over here is also probably, yeah, that is completely shot. Alright, so we can only take off the differential still from here. See what the condition is of this. Alright, let's see. Undo this. Okay, the differential is shot clearly. Alright, let's see the hub. Oh, that bolt was loose already. The hub is toast. And I think this hub on this side might be good. Let's just see if we can figure out what's the condition of this thing. Alright, there's one more bolt under here. Okay, this hub is still usable. I would probably reuse that. The axle itself, you know what? I think it's better to just get 2 brand new axles for this truck, front and rear, and also get a whole bunch of some of these frame rails and stuff we need on this truck. Alright, the transmission support one doesn't look terrible, but we might as well go and inspect everything. This transfer case support looks decent. This one doesn't look terrible. That one is rusty. And back here we've got another rusty one. So yeah, there's definitely going to be a whole lot of framework to be done to this truck, guys, before it's going to be safe to use again. But you know what? There's absolutely no rush in getting this thing fixed up, guys. So I think we'll get there eventually. But yes, as for Uncle Bill's truck over here, I'm going to be taking this thing over to the service center in the morning, because it's obviously a little bit too late to go there now. And then we'll drop this thing off for its paint job, and when we get it back, hopefully they would have sorted it out for us and get it sorted. So guys, I think that is going to be yet again a wrap for this video. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate every view, every like. And also, I had to ask, if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please consider doing so. I will appreciate it very much. And then I will see you all in the next one.